And here is a sample from Adam Tyson at King's College in London, UK. This is a cleared sample and then imaged on the Zeiss multiphoton microscope. It shows both axons and cell bodies, and we'll try to do some segmentation of the structures that are visible here using the Pixel Classifier in 2D space. So I also want to illustrate how the ROIs work and what that looks like in 3D when we are painting. So I'll start by defining or creating a new classifier. So it by default creates one with 2 channels. I don't want to create an output for the background, just for the want. And I'll go ahead and draw a few examples of cells. Until 8.5, the only tools we had were these that allowed you to paint like this, and then you can paint the background as well. This is fine if you have just a single slice, but if you want to paint multiple slices quickly, this isn't a very, very good way to do it. So we now have additional tools to paint in 3D. So for example, one of the tools is the magic one in 2D. And you can place it on top of a cell like this, increase the sensitivity, and it will fill all of the cell. And you can choose to paint multiple Z slices, and that will paint all of those slices of that cell. Let me just change this to a darker color so we can see that a little bit more clearly. So that is an annotation created there. I can move to a different area and paint a different cell, and perhaps this one as well. So a few examples of foreground. I can also paint the background in the same way. Okay, and now I can output in this case these are cells as a confidence map. That's what you see in dark blue. I'm doing a region of interest here. I could change the region of interest to here, and now it's going to show me that area. It looks like we're still detecting a little bit too much of the cells, so I can adjust by painting a little bit more background in the area, and it's going to adjust. It's generating the preview, and now it's updated. I'm interested in a segmentation map, not just a confidence map. So if I changed it to confidence to segmentation, now I have a segmentation map in 2D space. If I go to 3D now, it will compute a 3D mesh for those cells in that region. And you can see them. Right here. So I can turn that off. And I'll turn them back on. Takes a moment to recompute. So that's those cells that we were just looking at. If I want a permanent result, then I have to teach this classifier, which now, because it's GPU implemented, it trains very, very fast. And then I can apply it also in that ROI that you just saw there. Both the GPU implementation and the ROI apply are features from Aivia 8.8, which are very, very handy if you have a large data set that you need to work through. Okay, so this is an ROI that we've done. If I don't want to apply in an ROI, I can turn the ROI off, apply again, and it's now going to apply this pixel classifier that I just trained to the whole image. So, okay, the analysis has completed, and we now have fully segmented nuclei in this data set. We can, of course, go into charts and explore it a little bit more. Look at the highly spherical objects over here, are the least spherical, probably the ones that need a little bit of attention in terms of partitioning. That's the ones up there. In terms of the spreadsheet, we have full access to the parameters here, and the object sets that are here can now be color coded with any parameter of interest. That's, for example, the average intensity on the green channel, but we could use sphericity. That's the one we were just looking at a moment ago, and that's how it would look like. Can quickly adjust the colors here if you like to have a different spread of the color map. It's a very handy, very handy way to do that. Or just change the color map over here. Okay, so that is how to apply or train a pixel classifier, apply it and preview it first of all in ROI, and then apply it in an ROI, and then finally apply it to the whole image. And we've used both the original tools, just a paintbrush, as well as the flood filling magic wand tool in 2D, which paints in 3D but annotates in 2D. One additional note about what you can save and reload into the Aivia 8.8 pixel classifier. The annotations that we created can be saved off through this menu here, and that will save the PX annotation. So these are the annotations for this particular image. That's the annotations we made by hand. It's also possible to save the classifier, so you can apply it to other images, and you can save off all of the training fields, so all of the images that you've used, because you can do multi-session, multi-image training. You can save off all the images together with the annotations to a single location on your disk. That is the most handy way to keep track of all of your information, but of course it also creates a lot of data. One final note, the pixel classifier can be batch processed here, so you can batch apply a pre-trained classifier on multiple images, and that happens through this menu down at the bottom here.